So Nancy Pelosi today stepped up to her lectern. Apparently, I guess they have a spare after that dude stole one earlier this month, and absolutely destroyed the leadership of the Republican Party.
Madam Speaker, I wanted to ask you about Marjorie Taylor Greene. How concerned are you about her past posts, remarks, rhetoric? What would you like to see done about her?
What I'm concerned about is the Republican leadership in the House of Representatives, who was willing to overlook, ignore those statements, assigning her to the Education Committee when she has mocked the killing of little children at Sandy Hook Elementary School, when she has mocked the killing of teenagers in high school at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. What could they be thinking, or is thinking too generous a word for what they might be doing? It's absolutely appalling, and I think that the focus has to be on the Republican leadership of this House of Representatives for the disregard they have for the death of those children. They not only are they not interested in gun safety and gun violence prevention by passing legislation for background checks legislation, which is overwhelmingly supported in a bipartisan way in the country. But to have someone who would mock, call it a fake, those fake events onto the is just beyond, it's just beyond any understanding of any regard that the House Republicans would have for the House of Representatives, for the Congress of the United States, and for the heartbreak of the families in Sandy Hook and at Marjorie Stoneman High School. It really, at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, it's really beyond the pale. You're just going to have to ask them why they thought that that raised itself to the level of something appropriate to do in the Congress of the United States.
Yeah, she tore into them like they were one of her grandkids. And, you might not like AOC, might not be an AOC fan, but I dare you to leave me a comment and try to explain this crazy, crazy bullshit. So if you haven't heard of Marjorie Taylor Greene, the QAnon congresswoman, she said things like Muslims shouldn't be allowed in Congress or in the government. She has called blacks slaves to the Democratic Party, and in the past has even liked Facebook posts calling for Obama to be killed and for someone to put a bullet in Nancy Pelosi's head. Yes, what a perfect candidate for Congress, right? She has also, of course, called mass shooting events like the one at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas in Parkland, Florida, and the Las Vegas shooting in Nevada as staged events to take away people's gun rights. Yes, she thinks that all of these children who were killed in these mass shootings, it was all fake. She thinks this was all just something to take guns away, because apparently she thinks that's what Democrats are obsessed with. So much so that they could pull off this massive, crazy conspiracy, and it is beyond ridiculous that someone would think that is potentially true, and that someone would be a member of Congress. Well, Nancy might have just put a bullet in Major Taylor Greene's career. All right, sorry, that might have been a little off-color joke, but yes, Miss QAnon could be in some trouble here. A congressman from California is moving to expel her from Congress, kick her out of Congress based on all of the crazy rhetoric she has brought to the House. Now, I kind of doubt this would happen. Really, actually kind of doubt this would happen. Democrats and Republicans are basically split in the House. Democrats have the majority, but it's a very slim margin, and you need 2/3 votes to actually kick someone out of Congress. But I don't know. I mean, she makes some damn good points there. I mean, you really have to be like living in a whole nother world to take someone who has called school shootings faked, staged events and appoint them to an education committee. I mean, seriously? I mean, is that where we are in Congress, right? Yeah, let's get someone who denies school shootings, like let's put them in a position of power over education. I mean, come on. So we'll see. I'll be watching this one very closely because, I really hope this resolution passes. Because if QAnon, it shouldn't be on the internet, much less, in the House.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for watching Citizen Pete. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, click that little subscribe button, maybe the like button, and hey, maybe just leave a comment. I want to know what you're thinking. What do you think about all the politics, the news, and all the stuff that's going on in our country?